Hey guys, what's going on? It's Colin here again. Today I'm back with another antique generator. This is my Little Red Devil lighting plant. Here's the tag. You can pause the video if you want to read that. It's an AC generator, 1800 RPM and 3 kilowatts. And I think it's probably from the 50s or the 60s, my best guess. But it's a rather interesting unit. So I guess we'll start off with the power plant here. This is a Wisconsin engine. Unfortunately, somebody repainted this thing at one time. As you can probably tell, it's not red anymore. And the paint's obviously flaking off and it's getting rusty and all. It's kind of crappy looking, but honestly I don't have the time or patience to restore this whole thing. So it's staying that way. But anyways, whoever restored it ripped the tags off and didn't put them back on, which is nice. Hate it when people do that, but anyways. I've had a couple people tell me this is a Wisconsin AENL, and I want to say, could be wrong about this, I want to say it's anywhere from like 6 to 9 horsepower, but honestly don't remember. But yeah, it's got a magneto on the side, and that was the main issue with it. This was given to me by my buddy Brad, who some of you guys may have seen in the last couple of videos about those hit and miss engines. Those are his. But he got it from somebody for free. He just had it sitting around, so he decided to give it to me when he gave me the Ideal engine, the Model V, that is. But anyways, the main problem it had was that it had no spark, so I just cleaned up the points several times on that magneto. I got spark back and had it running. Since then, I've cleaned the carburetor a couple times too. The gas tank was full of old gas and slacked up and all that. I did my best to clean it out, but apparently I didn't do quite good enough, because what kept happening was I also replaced the fuel line, but originally I had the fuel shut off here. I've since moved it over there, because what happened was all the crap that was still in this tank came through and plugged up the fuel shut off. So what I did was I ended up buying an inline fuel filter, which you could see the color of that now. So I guess there's still some crap in the tank, although it is slowly cleaning out. And I put the fuel shut off over here, so that has worked pretty well so far. I want to say that this is a Gravely oil bath air filter. Not sure on that, I could be wrong, but I kind of want to say that because A, Brad has a ton of Gravely stuff, and B, it's not painted the same color as everything else, and C, it really looks like it. But yeah, this is a big old Wisconsin engine. I had it off the oil pan, or I had the oil pan off of it at one point, and it's got a pretty big bore. Never had the head off, never needed to take the head off, so. But yeah, it's got a pretty big bore and a pretty decent stroke. Everything in there is pretty big. It's got an oil pump too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that runs pretty well. I had a couple issues with it initially, but that is now running pretty well. The generator head here, like I said, this is a 3 kilowatt unit, so it's a 3 kilowatt generator head. Slip rings inside there. I don't really know a whole ton about generators, so that's about all I can tell you, is this is a slip ring generator. What I can tell you though is that I put this stuff on here. Originally it had a box that fit there, and it had 3 old twist lock outlets in it. Well, I decided to make it a little more usable and a little more safe, so what I did was I got this little breaker panel, put a 20 amp fuse in there, and just a regular outlet box over here, which is, yes, I know it's a little loose, I have to go and tighten it up. But in order to do that, I had to make this custom plate here, and I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. The original box was kind of molded like that, so it fit nicely on the side, but honestly from a distance that looks pretty good. It works good too. I think the cart is factory. Oh, I'm almost positive the cart is factory. I don't know how you'd move this thing around without the cart. It weighs a ton already. But that's got 2 big solid rubber wheels and a huge caster wheel. Also solid rubber. All in good shape. And it's of course a wrap a rope kind of yank on its starting system. But it runs pretty good. So what I'm going to go do is grab my tripod and a decent load for this thing, and we'll fire it up and put it under some load. Alright, sorry for the weird camera angle here. This is the rather steeper part of my driveway, and seeing as though this thing's got a bunch of wheels on it, it would roll right down the driveway. And I can't do it in the flatter part of my driveway because the Dodge is sitting over there, so oh well. My good pull rope also broke, so I'm using this random piece. Probably not the safest thing to do, but oh well. See what I do for you guys? This isn't a cold start. I just went to try and do a cold start, and I realized that the gas in this thing really isn't so great. It's been sitting for a while, so I just shut it down, so it shouldn't need choke, but we'll see if it wants to cooperate. Maybe it does need choke. I swear, all my engines run great all the time, and then I go to video them and they start acting up. Almost. This thing kind of starts up like a diesel, or it chugs. You choke it once and you pull it and it starts chugging away really slow, and then all of a sudden it takes off. Like I said, it's got a bunch of really bad gas in it right now. It's been sitting for a while. But it's running. I really like the sound of these 1800 RPM units. They're just so much quieter. I don't really know how to describe it. They sound nicer. I guess it's not even so much that they're quieter, it's just they're not screaming as much, I guess. I'll take you guys around here. Hold on. Something else I did at one point, I was going to adjust the governor and the thing broke. It used to be a piece of threaded rod, but what I did was I took a throttle shaft out of a Gravely carburetor, because they're literally the same thing, and I hooked that up. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that or not, but down in there, you can see this is set up from a Gravely, and I actually custom made this little piece of metal down here, and that seems to be working pretty well. The little carter pin, not a carter pin, I'm forgetting what that, oh maybe it is a carter pin, I don't remember what that piece is called, but there's a little clip there that holds it in, but that seems to be working pretty well. But I'm going to go ahead and send you guys down here, grab my kilowatt meter, and we'll put it under a load. This thing does run a little high on the voltage, but there's nothing I can do about it, really. This is no load, keep in mind. So the frequency's a tad high, but when you put a decent load on it, it comes right down. The cool thing is you can really hear it working. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this hairdryer on high, and you'll hear it. You can see that the frequency came right down, and I bet you the voltage did too. This is a 2,000 watt load, so 2/3 capacity, and the voltage is 132 volts. You can see a little bit of smoke. It's kind of funny, it's like a diesel. It starts up like one, or it sounds like one starts up, and when you put it under a load, you see a little bit of smoke too. Alright, I'm going to bring you guys around and give you a good shot of the governor, because you can really see it moving. It's kind of cool. Dryer again. Watch the governor. It's right there. Alright, so I just brought you guys around. I'm going to turn the hairdryer on again. You can watch the governor right there. there you go. Normally it doesn't skip like that, but I'm going to blame that on the bad gas. I don't know if it's picking it up on video, but this whole thing kind of shimmies and bounces a little bit like this. But it's working pretty hard right now, so I won't blame it. And we'll shut her down. There you go. So it's a pretty good runner, especially when it doesn't have old gas in it. But anyways, that's the Little Red Devil lighting plant. I'm pretty happy with the way this thing came out. One thing I forgot to mention earlier was the governor thing I did, so hopefully you could hear me. But I was pretty proud of that. That came out pretty well. So anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. If you like what you see, hit the little like and subscribe buttons. As you probably have seen the video, we've made it to 100 subscribers, 110, but according to my analytics, that's still 85% of you who are watching but aren't subscribed. So if you're one of those people, do me a favor and hit the little subscribe button. I appreciate it. And by all means, leave a comment if you have one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.